My name is Bill Willoughby. I'm with Cypress Development Corp. Cypress, I've been with a CEO since September 2017. The company as a whole, Cypress, has been focused as a lithium company since 2014. And our major project that I'm going to talk about today and introduce you to is the Clayton Valley deposit. It's a lithium deposit. It's quite large. It's in clays. It's well located. And it's a new discovery. Cypress first started drilling this in 2017, and about February, over a year ago, it's rapidly advanced to a point where we have a major lithium resource from discovery to where we're moving ahead with a PEA at this point. Just a few things about Cypress as a company. Our ticker is CYP on the TSXV. We have about 60 million shares outstanding, and fully issued and diluted is about 80 million shares. Our market cap as of last Friday was about $16 million, and that's at 27 cents a share. The compulsory disclosure statement for this talk. I'm the CEO, Bill Willoughby, and I'm the perpetrator for this one. So read fast and we'll move on. So here are my key points for Clayton Valley that I'd like to leave you with today. This deposit is big. It's got about 3 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent. It's LCE in indicated in resource, which we just defined on May 1st. It has another about 3.5 million tons in an inferred resource. So combined, if you were to add the two, you're over 6 million tons in lithium carbonate equivalent, which is quite large in the lithium space. Our first hole went in February 2017. We had a resource estimate which came out on May 1st, and we expect to get our PEA completed by the end of July, maybe first part of August. So the project is well located. We're in Nevada. We're right next to Albemarle's Silver Peak operation, which is a lithium brine operation. It was the first lithium brine in North America and the world. The deposit, as you'll see, is pretty simple to mine. It's flat lying. There's no overburden. It's in a clay, which distinguishes it from a couple other deposits which are actually in clay stones. And as you'll see, there's really no drilling and blasting that's involved in this. The deposit itself is unique. Mineralogy of the deposit is unlike the other clay stone deposits that are out there. And we found that it's easily leachable with sulfuric acid in a short period of time. And we have a pathway through all the way from mining all the way through processing to production. And just to give you a location, we are halfway between Reno, Nevada, which Tesla has their $6 billion gigawatt factory battery plant, and between Las Vegas. That's our location over by Tonopah and Silver Peak, Nevada. The deposit you see in the slide there, our property outline is in red. The deposit outline itself is in the yellow color. So we compass about 4,200 acres of property. The Albemarle's leach brine field is just off there to the left. And our trend runs about 7 kilometers in length and about 1 to 2 kilometers in width. And that's all in clays. Here are our drill results from last year and this year. We drilled 23 holes, all NC core, totaling about 2,000 meters. They're relatively short holes, drilling down to about 120 meters, total about 400 foot depth. And every hole that we drill encounters lithium mineralization in excess of 300 ppm, all the way up to 2,400 ppm. If you take the average of that, we're about 80 meter thickness and an average of about 900 parts per million. We came out with a resource estimate in January 1st, prepared by Global Resource Engineers of Denver, an NI 4310 compliant resource using our 23 drill holes. Indicated was about 600 million tons of 900 ppm lithium, which was 857 million tons of lithium carbonate. We had another 800 million tons of LCE, and which adds up to 3.683 million tons. If you add those two, you get about 6.5 million. Current price for lithium carbonate is between $16,000 and $22,000 per ton. So if you just start add those two numbers, multiply by some number between 16 and 22, you get a very large number. It's got a B behind it for billions, so it's quite impressive. And That gives us the impetus to keep driving this project forward. The slide that you see on the left there is the picture of the clay. That's from DCH9, which is in the center of the property, and that had 1,100 parts per million. As you can see, it is a clay. It's soft, easily mined. There'll be no drilling and blasting, and the mining part of this is almost a non-factor at all. Now the big question for this is, when you come down to the end, can you get the lithium out? Is 900 parts per million economic, or are we talking about something that's just fantasy? Well, we started doing test work in the fall, and at first it looked like we tried different reagents. We weren't having much success. Finally, we just went to straight sulfuric acid, tried heating it up a little bit, looked at our leach times, and we found that our drill core was quite leachable, leached quite fast, and we got minor amounts of salts into solution, which would be byproducts. So we know from that test work that we do not have a mineral called hectorite in it, which is a refractory mineral in other deposits, which requires that you have to calcine the ore to actually leach it. So we were able to prove in the lab. We've used SGS, Hazen, and a lab in Montana, Continental Resources, and we're able to get 80% lithium into sulfuric acid solution in a time frame that's under 4 hours, usually, and our leach time is probably going to be run between 1 to 6 hours in the lab. So it's a standard treatment from that point. We adjust the pH by raising the pH. It's low reagent consumption, both on the sulfuric acid, on lime, and at the end point we're running about a pH 11 on the far right hand of those beakers, and we dropped out all the magnesium and other salts, and we're basically left with a solution that has potassium, lithium, and sodium in solution. From there we go through ion exchange, and we can get to a battery grade product on site, which is going to be the basis for our PEA. So as far as where we're at right now, we've issued our initial resource estimate. That was on May 1. We're going through bench testing, and we're going to keep doing that and pushing it forward. We have a PEA coming out. We expect it by the end of July. We'll probably start doing some infill to upgrade the inferred resource up towards indicated. We're going to focus on a core area that probably runs about 1,000 parts per million, and that will be the basis for the PEA. And then if everything's successful and we're moving ahead, we'll probably charge into a pre-feasibility study by the end of summer.